That's not a knife. That's a knife. Hello everyone and welcome. Today we answer the question, can you beat Elden Ring with a dagger? Singular. One dagger. You'd think this would be a perfect time to pick the bandit class. After all, they have the great knife, which is a dagger. But do you see the problem here? Yep, this puppy has bleed on it and that's just too easy. So we pick Wretch, name her Stabby McStab because I don't know how to spell, and we're off. Doom, this doesn't seem like a very hard challenge run, I hear you say. And you might be right, dear viewer, but a couple of you commented asking me to do this, and who am I to shy away from a challenge run? So, to make it more difficult, like I said, we are only going to be using one dagger and no auxiliary effects. That means no bleed, frost, poison, rot, nothing. It's just us and our pointy stick. Oh, and no shield because, I don't know, didn't think I hated myself enough this week, I guess. Early game is always the same. We ride around picking up billions of seeds and tears until Melina can't resist us anymore and invites us back to her place, but with everyone hanging around, there are no deathbed knife fights happening today. So instead, I just buy a dagger and some pants because this is a family-friendly show. Normally, this is the part of the video where I would go fight the Crystallion and get upgrade materials, but you know what? Since we're using a real weapon, we don't need it. No, but really, we take on Margit with a +0 dagger, and it was, not fun. Not fun at all. It was, in fact, very, very tedious. Initially, I thought I would do this run with an unupgraded dagger, but, yeah, no, let's not do that. So, we head over to see our favorite Crystal Man. Alright, we all know that's not the real amount of damage we do to these guys, and after breaking his, body? We smack him around until, oh yeah, we can actually riposte, and oh baby, that's a lot of damage. I love how he's so excited to be backstabbed, he does this little twirl. Anyway, after a few more, shall we say, slightly invasive colonoscopies, he goes down and we head over to Castle Morn to pick up the Twin Blade Talisman. At this point in the run, I hadn't decided what talismans I would use, and by that I mean I hadn't researched them yet, but the only strength of the dagger is its speed, so I knew we had to at least play to that. Do you mind? The nerve of some people. Godric, you might have a bigger weapon, but I have determination and... Okay, you have a bigger weapon, noted. As you likely guessed, Godric isn't really that hard. I mean, sure, we're probably just causing him mild irritation more than actually hurting him with this amount of damage, but he's a big, slow target who can't really hurt us. Unless we literally jump into his attacks, I guess. A few hundred paper cuts later and he goes down. Hey look, Godric's Great Rune. I'm sure I'll remember to pick that up later. With him down, it's time to take on Hogwarts, and don't worry, I brought my wand. The extra sharp stabby kind. Oh? You're casting Reducto? Well, I cast Bitch's Cuttis. Well, this is hardly a fair duel, this man has like 9 wands. So I thought my red fur doppelganger here would be a problem, what with how often she jumps around, but I only have one thing to say. Play dead. Hold the elevator! Oh god, wait, I'm sorry, outplayed? Gameplay. Ornella phase 1 isn't a problem. It sucks we do so little damage that we have to 3-cycle her, but she literally just sits there and lets us cast Bitch's Cuttis repeatedly until she goes all Bayonetta on us. Phase 2, she actually fights back, casting Stickus Thumpus on us, but it's not really that big of an issue. As long as we stick next to her and keep up the pressure, she goes down easy. She's always talking to that little egg and ignoring me. Ugh, I need a drink. I'm not into this. I make a quick stop at Stillwater Cave to politely ask the Cleanrot Knight to give us the winged sword insignia. This talisman will increase our damage with successive attacks. I'm not really sure how useful the damage boost will be, but since we already attack fast, I figured might as well. With that out of the way, it's time for everyone's favorite zone, Caelid. What do you think this place smells like? Like the average gas station bathroom, probably? So I actually love the aesthetic of this place, the diseased and decaying atmosphere, but we aren't here to look at things. We're here to talk to the best girl, Commander O'Neil. This fight isn't that hard, you just gotta weave in and out of his attacks. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't usually fight either commander aggressively, instead letting them come to me, but with the speed of this dagger, it's actually really fun to get in and chip away at his health. When he goes down, we grab the unalloyed needle and take it to actual best girl, Gowry. I'm just kidding, we take the needle to Millicent.
Would you mind averting your eyes for a moment?
Sure, but wait, what are you doing? Oh.
Well, that was easier than expected.
I think I'm in love. So we actually want to follow Millicent's questline for a helpful talisman down the way, meaning next up we meet her in Altus Plateau where we share a pleasant conversation while gazing over the hills, but she really looks like she could use a hand, so I head north to the Shaded Castle. I see you, stupid. You can't trick me. Oh god! After delivering the Valkyrie's prosthesis to Millicent, she's overjoyed and tells us about a festival happening in the Windmill Village. She said she'd meet me here, but I only see these scary dancer ladies and that one tall guy. Maybe he knows where she is. Well, that doesn't bode well for later. After killing the Godskin Apostle, Millicent shows up and we have a nice chat.
Thus, I would have you call upon me in battle.
Did you hear that? She wants me to call her! For now, that's the last we'll see of her, so we head over to the Lux Ruins to grab the Ritual Sword Talisman. Sorry, demi-human Queen Gillica. I have a real queen now. I don't need you. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Yeah! Well, that did fuck all. Amazingly, even with our awful damage, we beat the Draconic Tree Sentinel first try. Mostly by sticking to his shield side. Just gonna sneak past this enemy. It's a good thing there's nothing gonna jump out at me from behind this wall. This is why you don't hire the cheapest help you can find. Godfrey, old friend, oh how I am excited for this fight. Anyone who knows me knows I love this fight and wish it was longer. Well, doing about 100 damage a swing is one way to make it longer, I guess. I was actually doing really poorly in this fight, making a lot of mistakes, but in the end, we stand victorious. Well, hello there, fellow dagger lover. Speaking of fellow dagger lovers, here we have Melina, who I have never summoned for this fight. And that's not going to change today. There's not really anything special to the Morgott fight. My first plan was just a lot of heavy attacks for guard breaks. But have I mentioned the dagger kinda sucks for poise damage? In fact, throughout the whole run, it was more consistent to just wail into the boss with light attacks to break the guard instead of heavy or jumping attacks. Morgott's a pretty easy fight. Right up until you get wombo comboed, I guess. It takes a couple of attempts because I keep dying to stupid crap, but eventually he goes down. Second best girl Melina tells us to head to the north and we obediently follow, not because I want to, but because actual best girl Millicent is here. She told me she's headed north to the Haligtree. What a coincidence that is. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say your favorite anime was trash. Okay, it's time for the boss I'm sure everyone thought would be difficult. The Fire Giant. Meh, I've seen worse. Sorry to burst everyone's bubble, but this fight isn't hard. Sure, it's annoying to chase him down constantly, and the microscopic range of our dagger means it's difficult to consistently hit him, but other than that, it's just an oversized health bar on legs. One leg. Phase 2 takes even longer because I don't aim for his weak points, instead opting for the safer strategy of cutting his ankles, and after about 10 billion paper cuts, he decides to give up out of pity and we press on to the giant ramen bowl in the sky. Must have been the spicy ramen. Speaking of things that give me heartburn, it's time for everyone's favorite boss, Godskin Duo! Have I ever mentioned how much I hate this fight? Is this boss unfair, or is it because I'm doing increasingly stupid challenge runs where I do little damage and wear no armor? No, it's the boss that's unfair. Initially, I thought this would be a nightmare, and I guess in a way it was, but I quickly found a strategy that seemed to work. Basically, we get the Apostle to half health because once he goes all Stretch Armstrong, it's actually really easy to dodge through his attacks and get a couple hits in. Now, as long as you make sure to dodge the stupid attack when they're almost dead, you can actually win this dumb fight. It took me a handful of tries, but eventually they go down. And with them out of the way, it's time to fight my favorite boss. Fucking birds. Whoever thought flying enemy in a FromSoft game was a good idea? Well, honestly, they probably got a raise. Malekith, a comparatively much easier fight, is up next. The only real problem is his massive thigh gaps, meaning we miss half of our attacks, but it's nothing we haven't dealt with before. This issue persists into Phase 2, and it's much worse there because of how noodly his body has become, but in my opinion, Phase 2 Malekith is way easier than Beast Clergyman, as his attacks are predictable and easy to dodge. So you just want to make me look bad, do you, doggy man? You gonna do your spinny move? No? Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna do my spinny move.
It took a handful of attempts, but eventually we put the doggo in his place. Gideon, my old friend. Oh, you knew I'd come? Well, that's nice. Let me just go around you right fast and, yep. If you're so all-knowing, how come you didn't see that coming? Gideon isn't the problem. We basically just jump attack him, and anytime he casts Law of Causality, we can get a free backstab. Eventually, he bites the dust. Next up is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Godfrey, the First Elden Lord. I gotta tell you, doing this fight with only a dagger was one of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had playing this game. Mostly because it just made the fight longer. It was so fun, in fact, I would consider doing this fight with a +0 dagger just to get even more time in the ring with this absolute unit of a boss. Hoarah Loux, on the other hand, is a little less fun. Not because he's super hard, but he just doesn't feel as fair as his armor-clad half. Still a solid fight though, and one that I always look forward to. Godfrey Liu, the first warrior, goes down first try. Oh god, he's not dead. He's very much alive. Tactical poke in the dick. Not even close. Actually though. I'm also just as excited to fight Radagon with the dagger. I was never afraid of this fight. I mean, sure, I make a few mistakes, but it's just so much fun. I can't tell you how happy this fight makes me. It's just so good. Whoever designed this fight, well, he probably got fired for not making it more ball-bustingly hard, but thank you, random developer. It's such a shame that we can't end on a high note. No, now we have to do Elden Beast. I'm sorry, I know a lot of you like this fight, and you know what? I would too, if it wasn't immediately after Radagon. That's like having a disappointing cheeseburger after a prime rib steak. Ah well, you know the drill. We smack, he run, we die? I guess he heard me talking shit and wasn't having it. Oh well, that just means I get to fight Radagon again. On the next try hey, hold still. Well, that's not the most elegant finish, but whatever. Elden Beast in dead, and we have beaten Elden Ring with only a singular dagger. Ha! As if. I know you all want to see some uber bosses. Alright, let's go. First, we grab half a medallion from Albus Not Dumbledore. Yep, I'm sure whatever you have to say is really important, bye-bye now. Then we head north to Castle Sol. So I read once if you kill these screaming people, the commander can't summon his 2 idiots. Well, that was a lie. Wait a minute, are these guys backstabbable? Oh my god, why have I never done that? Oh yeah, it's because most of the time I'm not using a weapon that can even backstab, that's right. Taking his 2 buffoons out in only 4 total hits made this fight way easier than normal. The commander himself isn't really a threat. Still hits like a truck though. It's also about now that I'm starting to feel the damage limits of the dagger. It's a plus 24, so we aren't really going to be getting any huge improvements out of it, but eventually the commander goes down and we have access to the consecrated snowfield. It's fine. This is fine. Nothing about this area is poorly designed at all. How mad would you be if you were a magic-wielding powerful knight on a horse and some crazy lady with a dagger bested you? Pretty mad, I reckon. Millicent! Fancy meeting you here!
I can only surmise our purposes are aligned.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. We're almost done with Millicent's questline. First, we just need to kill this putrid tree spirit, which, proves to be harder than most bosses. Eventually, though, it goes down and we are met with a choice. Here I can choose to invade Millicent's world and strike her down, or aid her from her attacking sisters. Invading Millicent would reward me with the Millicent's Prosthesis Talisman. This gives a plus 5 to dexterity and has a similar effect where damage increases with subsequent attacks. Aiding her, on the other hand, would give me the Rotten Winged Sword Insignia, which is simply a direct upgrade to the regular Winged Sword Insignia. Additionally, Millicent's Prosthesis actually stacks with the insignias, meaning if our goal is to become as powerful as can be, invading her is the logical choice. But I can't do my girl dirty that way. Alright Millicent, it's me and you. Well, it seems I've really fallen for you, haven't I? So our girl here can actually deal out some real significant damage. If she can get a full waterfowl off, it'll literally 0 to death one of the sisters. The problem is, she's pretty squishy. Oh yeah, and there's 4 of them. I don't know if you've ever tried to protect Millicent with a dagger, but it's not so fun. Eventually though, we power through and the last sister drops, awarding us with a Rotten Winged Sword Insignia. Okay Millicent, you just rest there. I'm not crying, you're crying. Okay, now it's time for the fight you've all been waiting for. Malenia versus my completely normal dagger.
And I have never known defeat.
Yeah, well, you've never faced a half-naked lunatic with a dagger, have you? Normally, this is where I'd say something like, whoa, she's so hard, we had to use specific attacks at specific times to just barely make it by. But we didn't. This was actually one of the easier fights in the whole run. I mean, sure, we aren't doing very much damage, but we are using a normal weapon, so we have normal weapon advantages. After having fought her countless times, the only real threat is Waterfowl, but I didn't even use Bloodhound Step, that's how confident I was. I hate to disappoint everyone who wanted to see me in endless pain, but Malenia goes down, first try. To be honest, I'm also a little let down that we didn't get destroyed by her, so let's see how hard Mog is. He's usually a challenge. Okay, we're doing practically no damage, that's a good sign. He still hits like a truck though, better heal up. Oh shit, I forgot the Purifying Crystal Tear. Well this is a problem. So yeah, I had to burn 3 heals in his phase transition, combine that with making stupid mistakes, and my first attempt ended not so great. But after that embarrassing failure, I equip the tier and he goes down the very next try. I don't know what y'all are talking about, the dagger is great, I'm sure it would have been even better with a second one. Last on our list of super bosses is Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy. So, do you think our little dagger is gonna kill that giant snake man? Well, if you answered, maybe, you'd be right. Well, half right at least. Once again, Rykard's first phase proves to be easy, really annoying, but easy. We just stand in the lava and cut him a few thousand times. Phase 2, however, he gets a little more jumpy and explodey, and unfortunately we can't handle it. Shame too, I really like the idea of defeating a boss that devours gods with a dagger. Ah well, the backup plan is to take a stick I found and some tape, and oh would you look at that, I made a long dagger, aren't we just crafty? Whoa, what's this crazy air move? I don't know how that's happening, haha! But seriously though, Rykard is a gimmick boss, so he gets a pass on my challenge runs. I still decide to finish him off with a dagger, just because that's funny to me though. Last but absolutely not least, is Radahn. Hi, I'm trying to reach you about your horse's extended warranty? No! There wasn't ever a need to fight Radahn earlier, but he is a shard bearer, so by definition of my challenges, he needs to die. Radahn deserves a warrior's death, but I honestly can't decide if a crazy Tarnish slashing his ankles with a dagger is the most warrior style death, or the least. Either way, with him dead, the challenge draws to a close and we have defeated all demigods with only a singular ordinary dagger. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please consider giving a like and subscribing. It helps me out way more than you know, and an extra special thanks to my patrons. Stay beautiful, y'all. So this run was not hard at all. In fact, it was pretty easy. The only real issue was the dagger's short range. It was nice though getting a break from my normal difficult challenge runs, and fighting Godfrey and Radagon for longer was great. 10 out of 10 recommend the dagger, or honestly 2 daggers. I'm sure the power stance quick attacks coupled with the talismans for more damage would just be insane. Anyway, until next time my friends, don't you dare go hollow.